The most expensive lessons in life aren't taught in schools. They aren't printed in textbooks, and nobody sits you down and warns you about them. Instead, you discover them after you've already paid the price. Sometimes that price is money, sometimes it's time, sometimes it's years of your life you'll never get back. And the worst part, most of these lessons are completely avoidable. If someone had told me what I am about to share, I would have saved thousands of dollars, countless hours, and years of frustration. But nobody did so today. Let's talk about the expensive lessons nobody talks about. Because these lessons quietly shape financial futures every single day, and most people don't even realize it. The first lesson is simple. Being busy is not the same as making progress. For years, I thought hard work guaranteed success. Wake up early, work longer, stay busy, keep moving. That seemed like the formula, and honestly, it sounded reasonable. The problem was that I confused activity with progress. I spent years working harder, without asking whether I was moving in the right direction. Imagine climbing a ladder for 10 years, only to discover it's leaning against the wrong wall. That's what this lesson feels like. Many people spend decades chasing income without ever building wealth. And those are two very different things. Income is what you earn. Wealth is what you keep. That distinction cost me years to understand. The second lesson nobody talks about is that lifestyle inflation feels like success until it isn't. The first raise felt amazing. The second raise felt even better. More money meant more freedom. Or so I thought. But something strange happened. Every increase in income seemed to disappear. A nicer apartment, a newer phone, more subscriptions, more convenience, more spending. Nothing dramatic, nothing irresponsible, just gradual upgrades. And that's what makes lifestyle inflation so dangerous. It doesn't feel reckless. It feels deserved. That's why people fall into it. One day, you realize you're earning twice as much as before, yet somehow, you're not financially free. Because every increase in income was matched by an increase in expenses. The lesson? Making more money doesn't automatically make you wealthier. Keeping more money does, and nobody talks about how difficult that can be. The third lesson is one that still bothers me today. The cost of waiting. People often worry about making financial mistakes, but very few people think about the cost of doing nothing. I delayed investing for years. Not because I didn't know about investing, because I thought I had time. Lots of time. The problem? Time is the one financial asset you can never replace. Money can be recovered. Time cannot. Every year I waited was a year compounding couldn't work for me. And compounding is powerful. Not because it's fast. Because it's slow. It's so slow that most people underestimate it until it's too late. That's what makes waiting so expensive. The cost is invisible. At least at first. Years later. It becomes painfully obvious. The fourth lesson nobody talks about is emotional spending. Most purchases are not financial decisions. They're emotional decisions disguised as financial decisions. I learned that the hard way whenever I felt stressed. I spent money whenever I felt bored. I spent money whenever I felt successful. I spent money whenever I felt disappointed. I spent money. Eventually, I realized something surprising. The purchases weren't solving the problem. They were distracting me from it for a few minutes, maybe a few days. Then the feeling disappeared. and I was left with less money. The lesson? Feelings are temporary. Debt can be permanent. Learning that distinction changed everything. The fifth lesson is one society rarely discusses. Nobody cares as much as you think they do. Many financial mistakes happen because we're trying to impress people. A better car, a luxury watch, designer clothes, the latest phone. The assumption is simple. People will notice. People will admire us. People will be impressed. But here's what I discovered. Most people are too busy thinking about themselves. They're not paying nearly as much attention as we imagine, and once I realized that, something changed. I stopped spending money trying to look successful and started focusing on becoming successful. That shift alone improved my finances dramatically. The sixth lesson is painful. Cheap can become expensive. When I was younger, I always chose the cheapest option, the cheapest tools, the cheapest products. The cheapest solution started first. It felt smart. I was saving money. But then things started breaking. Replacing, repairing, replacing again. Eventually, I realized I wasn't saving money. I was spending money repeatedly. That's when I learned the difference between price and value. The cheapest option is not always the least expensive, and the most expensive option is not always the best. The goal is value. That lesson took years to learn. The seventh lesson nobody talks about is comparison. Comparison is expensive, financially, emotionally, mentally. Social media made this lesson even harder. Every day someone appears richer, more successful, more accomplished, living a better life. At least that's how it seems. And comparison quietly changes behavior. People buy things they don't need, with money they don't have. To impress people they don't even know, all because comparison convinced them they were behind. The truth, you rarely see the full picture. You see the highlights. Not the debt, not the stress, not the sacrifices. That's why comparison is such a dangerous financial habit. You're comparing your reality to someone else's presentation, and presentations are rarely honest. The eighth lesson is about freedom. Most people think money buys things. It does. But the most valuable thing money buys isn't stuff, it's options. The ability to say no, the ability to leave bad situations, the ability to handle emergencies, the ability to make decisions without panic. That's what financial freedom really is, not luxury, options. And once I understood that, my priorities changed completely. The goal was no longer owning more, the goal became needing less. The ninth lesson is that small decisions become big outcomes. Nobody becomes wealthy because of one perfect decision. And nobody becomes financially stressed because of one bad purchase. Life rarely works that way. Financial outcomes are usually the result of repeated behavior, tiny choices, repeated daily, repeated weekly, repeated monthly, over years. Those choices compound. Just like investments, good habits compound, bad habits compound, everything compounds. And that's why consistency matters more than intensity. A small good decision repeated for 10 years can outperform a brilliant decision made once. The 10th lesson may be the most expensive of all. Nobody is coming to save you. That sounds harsh, but it's incredibly empowering. For years I waited for the perfect opportunity, the perfect income, the perfect moment, the perfect plan. Eventually, I realized something. The perfect moment never arrives. The future improves when you start acting, not when conditions become ideal. That lesson changed everything, because once you stop waiting, progress begins. The truth is, most financial success comes from ordinary actions. Saving consistently, investing regularly, avoiding unnecessary debt, living below your means, being patient. None of these ideas are exciting, that's why so many people ignore them. But boring often wins, especially in personal finance. Looking back now, the expensive lessons nobody talks about weren't really about money. Money was just the teacher. The lessons were about patience, discipline, awareness, responsibility, time, and understanding what truly matters. I wish I had learned them sooner. I wish someone had explained them clearly, but maybe that's the nature of expensive lessons. Sometimes they only make sense after you've paid for them. The good news? You don't have to pay for every lesson yourself. You can learn from other people's mistakes. You can learn from their regrets. You can learn from their experiences. And if this video helps you avoid even one expensive mistake, then maybe some of those painful lessons were worth it. Because the most valuable lessons in life aren't always the easiest. They're the ones that change the way you think forever. So now, I'm curious, what's the most expensive lesson you've ever learned about money? Comment below. And if you enjoy story-based personal finance, money psychology, financial literacy, investing, and wealth building lessons, subscribe. Because sometimes the lessons nobody talks about are the ones that matter most.